Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicolas and today we are going to talk about the men's Spring Summer 2023 fashion show that has just been presented to us. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here we are going to talk about fashion, luxury items or bags. So if this is something you and I have in common, please do not hesitate to subscribe to this channel. That way we can become internet friends. So today we are going to review 10 fashion shows that happened during this collection presentation, 4 during the Milan Fashion Week and 6 during the Paris Fashion Week. Obviously there were more collection that has been presented to us, but I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, so we're gonna focus on those 10. I'm gonna put the timestamps in the description box down below. That way if you guys want to see my comment and discuss a particular show, you will know directly where to go. And a little bit of disclaimer here, I'm not a fashion critic, I don't have any particular degree in fashion. I happen to enjoy this industry and I enjoy watching the show, so I thought it would be interesting for me to discuss this on my channel and hopefully you guys will like it. And I can wait to hear about what you have to say about it in the comment down below. The first show we are going to talk about today is Zegna by Alessandro Sartori. By the way, if you are seeing me looking here and there, it means that I'm looking at my note on my computer and I also write some particular point I would like to discuss with you. So Zegna by Alessandro Sartori, and this is everything that I love. I love the oversized shirt, oversized pants, oversized blazer, treated with those nude color and monochromatic look. This is something we have seen on the previous season for sure, but this is something that works for me, especially when it's treated with this blush pink. And also I love this blush pink in combination with this rusty brownie color. I think that works and this will always appeal to me. Something I was less a huge fan of, and the opposite would be the accessories used during this show. For example, the sunglasses or the shoes in general were less appealing to me, but this is really like, personal taste. I kind of found interesting their phase where Alessandro Sartori was presented some yellow, bright neon or yellow look. We can see that in the look 16, 28 or 29. And I think it was interesting because it's kind of like breaking the dreamy, nudie, monochromatic vibe of the show by something a little bit more punchy. So even if it's not my cup of tea, I found interesting to add like this element during the show. It's also telling us that sportswear will be present next year as well. Next up is Prada by Raf Simons and Miuccia Prada, and the first thing I noticed with the first silhouettes walking the runway was actually those cowboy type boots that are actually present in almost all of the look of this collection, if I'm not mistaken. They are being styled with those classic suits, but also with those very short leather shorts. So I really feel like those two pieces, so the boots and the leather shorts, are going to be hit pieces next year, because they are being very present in the fashion show, and I actually think they are pretty cool. This collection really spoke to me, it's classic but with a twist, it's rock, a la Prada, it's edgy, I really like it. My favorite silhouette, I would say, is this look number 48, so one of the last one of the collection. I love how the trench coat is falling right above the knee, if I'm not mistaken, and I love how it's styled with a turtleneck, so something a little bit heavy on the top, but with those very short leather shorts and those cowboy boots. I think the balance of this silhouette is perfection to me, and I definitely picture myself wearing something like that. Something I liked less is this trench, but with those Vichy carreaux in French. A type of pattern. This is something that I don't see myself really wearing, but I think like the Zegna show, it's interesting to break a little bit the collection by something a little bit spicy or different. It's kind of adding something interesting visually. So I appreciate that, but as far as like, am I gonna wear or am I gonna buy this type of trench? No. Next up is Etro by Etro, and that was a good surprise to me, to be honest with you. I generally find the Etro aesthetic a little bit too loud or heavy for my personal taste, but this one really spoke to me because it was a little bit toned down, a little bit more dreamy, a little bit more poetic. I don't know if you know what I mean, but this is really how I felt when I was looking at the fashion show. For me, Etro is this brand where I like, you know, some piece here and there and not necessarily the complete look of the silhouette. For example, some pieces I really liked was in the look number 4, this cardigan. I think it was absolutely beautiful. I really actually like the look number 9 with this beautiful summery white top and in combination with these leather shorts. A little bit like bouffant type of leather short. I think it was very interesting. Something I really liked was those pants that we can see at the look number 11, and we can also see it in white on the look 7 and in orange in the look 24. And something that I think would be my favorite piece of the show was those rusty orangey overalls that we can see in the look 22. I definitely see myself wearing that during spring summer. Something I did care less for was all of these flowers print, but I feel like this is kind of like the Etro signature, so we can see that in the look 42, 46 and 52. I appreciate visually seeing them, but do I see myself wearing those? Not really. Next up is Fendi by Sylvia Fendi, and I don't know about you, but every time I think about a Fendi fashion show, I get excited because I know we are going to see some new accessories, including bags. And let me tell you, this one didn't disappoint. The first bags that caught my attention during this show were those big leather pouches, including their on the look number 9 in this camel color, or in the look 15 in white, and in blue in this look 45. Those one I really found they were interesting. I didn't care that much for those big bucket bags though that we can see in the look 5, in the look 17 and in the look 25 for example. Didn't really care about them mainly because of the big Fendi logos on it. I'm not really a logo fan, so that's really personal. Although I found interesting that they were releasing this type of shapes. And beside those big bags presentation, we have also been presented some smaller bags like those small peekaboo, like in the look 11 with these cow patterns on it, or the one in Python in the look 32. I think this one was pretty interesting. Beside those small peekaboos, we have also seen a couple of new baguettes, like the one in the look 37 that was interesting to look at too. Okay, we are now done with the Milan Fashion Week. Let's now jump to the Paris Fashion Week, and the first show we are going to discuss is Givenchy by Matthew Williams. Let me tell you that this first show was not my favorite one for a couple of reasons. As much as I want to like this brand and what it has to offer, I don't really care for the big logo, you know, the big Givenchy on the clothes. And I think it was very present in most of the collection, especially when it's like in combination with some sportswear type of clothes and in a neon color. This is not really something that speaks to me, but that's, you know, that's very personal once again. Something I didn't really like seeing as well was this destroyed / ripped clothes. In some silhouette I found it was pretty interesting, like in this monochromatic ensemble. But in others, like in those two silhouettes, I think the ripped effect was going a little bit too far, and I didn't really appreciate the overall balance of the look. Again, very personal. Something I kind of liked though was the accessories, mainly the jewelry. I loved those like necklace padlock, especially in silver. I think that was pretty interesting to see. And the second thing that I really like was those cowboy type of belt. We can really see that in some fashion shows these seasons, the Western vibe is very present. You know, we have those leather boots at Prada, we have those cow patterns at Fendi, now we have those like belt at Givenchy. I feel like the Western is still gonna be on trend for their spring-summer 2023. And to finish on a good note for Givenchy, I wanted to mention that my favorite look was number 46 that I'm gonna put here. I love this long black coat. I love where it's falling on the legs, and I love also the details of the little jewelry that you can see around the neck of the model. I think it was this one was actually perfect. Next up, what the show was probably the most excited for, and this was Ami Paris by Alexandre Mathieusi. This show was definitely a big tribute to Paris, starting by the location. It was filmed next to the Sacré-Cœur in Montmartre, which is one of the, I would say, most famous neighborhood in Paris. You have a beautiful view of the city from there. The show has been opened by one of the most famous French actresses, which is Audrey Tautou, that you have probably recognized if you have watched the movie Amélie Poulain a few years ago. In the show, you have a lot of references on how Parisian can dress and a lot of cliché out of it. For example, you have those red bandanas that are omnipresent in the show, and this I think is a tribute to the French singer Renaud. He was very popular in the 80s. He was always rocking this type of red bandanas. But also during the show, you always have this effortless vibe on how Parisian can behave and can be dressed. We really have seen that along the collection. One of the good representation of this was those silhouettes rocking those track pants with something a little bit more like a dressier on top. So for example, those leather jacket and also those long coats in those different looks. And also what will be Ami Paris fashion show without oversized silhouettes, right? So we can definitely see that in a couple of looks. For example, the look 34, you can see this oversized blazer and oversized pants. This is something that is a signature of Ami, and this is something I really like. If you have not get since the beginning of this video. The look 13 is probably one of my favorite, when you can see this model wearing this oversized white cream blazer with these oversized pants and those sneakers to add a little bit of coolness out of it, with nothing underneath and with this bandana. I think this is genius. Next up is Dior by Kim Jones, and he's definitely inviting us in a full bloom garden this time. And like Jacquemus, La Montagne fashion show, there is a lot of references to outdoor, like in the look 12, for example. You can see that every piece of this look can be used for a hike. We can definitely find that in the look 28 or 41, so it's kind of very present in the collection. I think it was a beautiful presentation. I really love the nude color that Kim Jones is using there. I love most of the outfit. I think some of them were interesting. For example, those deconstructed tops that we can see in the look number 3 and in pink in the look number 22. A lot of pink were presented to us during this show, and I'm not complaining about that because this is one of my favorite colors. It was also interesting to notice that some emblematic pieces of the House of Dior was presented to us during this show. For example, in the look 17 and 34, this big canage coat. This is definitely a signature of the House of Dior. The canage, we can find it also in the Lady Dior bag. Talking about bag, we have seen a couple of new saddle interpretation, like in the look 14. Next up is Hermès, and very much like Kim Jones, Véronique Nicharian is bringing us to the countryside of France. But this time it's more like in the Atlantic coast. At least this is the way I like to see it. We can definitely see this outdoor and sea marine inspiration in the look number 1 with this beautiful yellow turtleneck with the sunset on the beach on it. In the look 26, there is also this marine inspiration with this yellow tank top with the seahorse on it, or in the look 42 with this lobster on this purple turtleneck. Other than that, most of the models are rain and hike ready, especially when we see the silhouettes of the look 25, 30 and 33. They are rocking those neoprene sandals in combination with this rain jacket with the matching bobs. Very important, do not forget that. Bobs are still gonna be apparently in next year. As far as accessories, we can definitely see 2 new type of HAC or haut à courroie, which are the men's version of the Birkin. Personally, I like the plain haut à courroie better than those new models, but it's always good to see some fresh look. And I have to say that my favorite item in the collection was those Hermès sandals in leather. And those ones are really reminding me of the Sparshot type of sandal that was very popular a few years ago. This one definitely gonna be on my wish list. Next up was Serre by Serre, and this show I think was one of the most unique one that has been presented to us during this fashion week. Everything was very special about it. I think the location, the run tracks were really special. The casting was very interesting and diverse in terms of age, in terms of body shapes, in terms of skin colors. The accessories that she used, the patterns. I felt like it was, a tribe walking together in the desert after the end of the world or something like that. As I said, the casting was very unique and was including formers and current athletes like Alexis Anquincan and Djibril Cissé, which was a very famous French soccer. But also some celebrities like Lourdes Leon, which is Madonna's daughter. Serre is not really a brand that I can see myself wearing too much, although the patterns and the second skin type of clothes are really growing on me. But I really wanted to mention her in today's video because I like the values that the brand is representing. I read that Serre is using 50% at least of recycled material to make her collection. And I love the ethical aspect of the brand, and I think she can be seen as an example and the future of the fashion. So I really support her work, and I wanted to mention her on today's video. And finally, the last show we are going to talk about today is Jacquemus. Although technically it's not part of the spring-summer 2023 menswear collection, but the fall 2022 collection. Oh well. So this show was taking place in the Salt Mountain in Camargue, which is in the southeast of France. And the name of the show was Le Papier, which means the paper. And I think it was visually very interesting as usual with Jacquemus. There were a lot of nuptial references, especially in the look number 3 and the look 59, so the opening and the closing of the show. As usual, my favorite pieces in the Jacquemus show was those oversized puffy jacket that we can find in the look 35 in this brown color, or in the look 45 in these beigey nudie tones. I actually very like how he styled those jackets with some a second layer of clothes on top of it, like this shearling jacket on top of this oversized puffy jacket for the look 45. I found that very interesting. And I really like the fact that he styled them with very short. I think it was creating something very interesting in the silhouette. I also like their sneakers that he was using in those silhouettes, which is a collab with Nike. Besides this, I really love the outdoor inspiration that Simon Porte Jacquemus is bringing into this fashion show once again. I love, obviously, all of these earthy tones, some of the oversized silhouette. I have nothing, more to mention for this collection, except that I'm always a fan of what he's doing. I hope he will continue to make us dream in his next collection. And that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment down below what was your favorite show, your favorite outfit, your favorite accessories, everything you want to talk about. Please let me know in the comment down below. I really hope we can start a little discussion about this particular collection and this particular fashion weeks. And beside that, I hope you are all healthy wherever you are in the world, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!